If you saw our last couple of videos, you'll know that we've been trying to refurbish our decks.
If architects design the plans of blue and black and grey.
But weather conditions have been anything but helpful. And while we don't deny that we need rain, trying to prepare surfaces and paint when the chance of showers is high every single day makes it almost impossible and very frustrating. So we've adopted a strategy of using 2-component fillers and epoxy primer coats which can tolerate rain after an hour or so. And against all odds, we've managed to repair and primer coat the entire deck. What you up to, Jimmy?
I'm just trying to mask off in a way that will work when I want to do the non-slip.
Yep.
So the non-slip I can, on an outside curve, I can bring the non-slip around.
Yep. I'm Adriana, this is Jim and Lucy. 5 years ago we sold everything and moved on to our 42-foot sailboat to get her ready for cruising. We left Sydney in late 2019 when bushfires and border closures took the wind out of our sails. Now we're ready to continue sailing again. Subscribe and welcome aboard.
So I just mixed up the paint before, about an hour ago, and as soon as I finished mixing it, a shower came out of nowhere and wet everything.
The important thing to remember, Jim, we always have what is called the element of surprise. Ah!
So I put the paint back in the fridge, sealed it up. Now I've dried everything and I'm painting again. I don't know what the future of this paint job will be.
You're fired.
This is where we are now. We've managed to lay a first coat of 2-pack polyurethane on some of the borders, as well as under fittings and the gunnels.
So we're getting to the point now where we have to start deciding on what non-slip surface we're going to apply to the deck. We're just looking initially at what are our priorities in that area and what sort of features we want.
Our first priority is
Non-slip.
non-slip. It has to be
Yeah.
a really good non-slip surface.
Yeah, and that's whether it's dry or slightly wet, like with a bit of dew, or totally flooded with water.
The second priority is, of course, application.
You know, what the process is, how long it will take, and what the environmental requirements are to get it right. In that respect, we're quite limited as to what we can use, particularly with this season that we've got of constant rain.
It has to be easy to apply, let's dry fairly quickly, and really not need too many coats. And the next priority or the next consideration is cost.
Yeah.
Because you could spend thousands and thousands on a deck surface, a non-slip deck surface.
Yeah, some of the pre-made either synthetic teak or vinyl non-slip type coatings, some of which you can either apply yourself or some you actually make a template and a factory laser cuts it. Some of those can be extremely expensive and still require quite a bit of labour.
So the next consideration is?
Also aesthetics, you know, the choice of look, what we want, what will suit this boat. This boat's about 20 years old.
Yeah.
And it's got a bit of a traditional look. And a lot of those boats are really going to the non-slip coatings, whether it's a two-component with broadcast aggregate, or the one component where the non-slip is either built into the paint itself, so in other words the paint contains the aggregate, or there's another type where the paint actually goes on very thick, either with a stiff brush or a trowel, and the non-slip surface is then created by rolling it with a very coarse foam roller. And the thicker you put it, the more aggressive that surface becomes.
But the good thing about that is that you can sand it back.
Yeah, if you make it too thick and too aggressive, in other words, it's not comfortable, it feels too sharp, you can actually sand it back down to the level that you're comfortable with, which is an incredible feature, actually.
And you can repair it easily because of that. You can actually sand it back, repair it, and apparently without any loss of colour.
And it's one component.
It's one component.
The other advantage of that is that because you're building up such a thick surface, it gives you almost an extra layer of waterproofing, like a membrane.
And it's also good from the point of view that if you have any imperfections on the deck, it smooths those
it covers
out.
that as well, so you don't need to get it absolutely perfect.
That's right.
Part of this decision process, the other day, I was actually working on the deck and I put my knee down onto one of the darker grey areas, and I couldn't actually
It's so hot.
place my knee there, it was too hot. So I thought, well, let's take a look at this. So we got the thermocouple out and we measured the temperature.
So the ambient temperature is nearly 26 degrees. So this light grey, at the moment it's 38 degrees. Hang on.
Gosh.
Yep.
Goes to show you, doesn't it?
18 degrees hotter than the ambient temperature.
There's huge
So
difference.
you're talking about major impact of the colour on the deck surface, which then gets translated to the inside of the boat. Because we're mainly living in subtropical and travelling in subtropical to tropical areas, keeping the boat cool is a bigger priority for us than keeping it warm. So we're now looking at putting an even lighter colour on the deck. So hopefully by next week
We'll have some samples. We'll make up some samples to show you, and we'll make up our mind and come to a decision.
We'll let you know how that goes next week.
In the meantime, I celebrated International Women's Day with friends from Women Who Sail, who also run Sister Ship magazine. The links are in the description below. The weather was iffy, but it was time to do the Genoa tracks and around the forward hatch, and I pleaded with the weather gods to give us a reprieve.
So we're all masked up, and as usual the bloody clouds are threatening. It's a little bit west of us, and there's a couple of showers that we're right on the border of, which is how the sky looks as well, so we're right on the edge of it.
If you're wondering why we're having so much rain, it's all due to this Walker cycle. In the southern hemisphere, the equatorial trade winds move from east to west, and these are a boon for sailors because they offer great downward sailing. La Niña occurs when these trade winds become stronger, changing ocean surface currents and drawing cooler, deeper water from below, resulting in a cooling of the eastern Pacific Ocean and a warming of the western Pacific Ocean. Warm waters mean more cloud development, and cloud means rain, floods and more cyclones than normal. That's where we're at.
I've been feeling restless. This city is relentless. It wears me down and leaves me dry. I could use some water, somewhere that I can wander, where I can finally see the sky. All the noise and all the chaos, I only want to hear the sound of the earth. I only wanna feel the ground underneath. No pavement, no concrete, just leaves in my heartbeat. I only wanna hear the Take all the gray and turn it green. People like a sea flowing through the street, passing over me, passing over me. All the noise and all the chaos, I only wanna hear the sound of the earth. I only wanna feel the ground underneath. No pavement, no concrete, just leaves and my heartbeat. I only wanna hear the sound of the earth. Wanna feel it, wanna feel it. I only wanna hear the sound of the earth. I only wanna feel the ground underneath. No pavement, no concrete, just leaves and my heartbeat. I only wanna hear the sound of the earth.
So we managed to get it done without rain. I can't believe it. We've been lucky with the weather so far.
Yeah, it's now been about 7 hours since I've painted it, so it should be okay if it rains, which it looks like it will. So yeah, no, we're going okay. And I've actually decided to order a special colour to match the existing coach house.
Because it's quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a all grip colour called Matterhorn, and this colour is the Norglass we've been using in the white. And I thought we'd get away with it, but it's just too many points where it matches it, and it's going to look weird. Luckily, Norglass, who manufacture this white paint, have previously made up a colour to match the all grip Matterhorn. So I don't need to send them paint or a sample. They've already got the formula, so I just had to place an order through a supplier.
Time a deluge is sweeping across Australia's east coast, with heavy rain striking parts of New South Wales and Queensland.
Further north, it's far worse. Around Port Stephens, they're well over the 200 to 250 millimetre mark. And around the Kempsey region, even more than that, 270 closing in on the 300 millimetre mark.
I've been so busy with all the deck work lately, I haven't actually inspected the engine bay for a long time. And today, since it's raining so much, I can't do a single thing. I'm just having a bit of a look and seeing what's going on.
We had a little bit of a diesel and salt water smell last night, didn't we?
Yeah, I can't see anything though. So anyway, I'm going to keep having a hunt around.
Oh well, there's always something exciting to do on a boat, isn't there?
Never a dull moment.
Even when it's pouring with rain and nothing else to do, we can find some boat work that we can do.
A bit of WD-40, never hurt anyone.
It's so strange to think that we've been here for 18 months. Originally, we'd planned to spend a couple of weeks here, and now it's autumn again. Our plan is to finish the deck in time to travel to the Whitsundays as soon as cyclone season is essentially over. Even though we've loved it here, I can hear the call of the sea. And if you've ever heard it, it's a call that is undeniable. When it comes, your mind keeps turning to that vast expanse of ocean awaiting you, and the people you will meet and the things you will see. For now, we'll just continue to live our salty life, finishing the deck and enjoying the small things. Because they're the things that truly matter, don't you think?
I will plant my humble seeds song worth living is
Rigatoni with mushroom sauce and a side of masking tape.
Yum.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you're here for the first time and you liked the video and would like to see some more, subscribe and hit that bell button. And if you share, comment and like, it really helps us to keep these videos coming. Just winch it up. Just remember, stay well, stay safe, and keep that tail wagging. I have all the good ideas.